Hello everyone, welcome all of you. So let's start implementing our automation framework with the page object model design pattern. So in this design and implementation of this framework, let's go stepwise so that it will be easy for all of you to understand. So as a first step, what we will do, we will create Maven project first, right? So we know there are lots of advantages of the Maven project over the Java project. We require different plugins, different dependencies in our automation framework that we can easily manage with the help of pom.xml file in the Maven project. Okay, so different configuration to run our framework from local machine or from remote machine, cloud machines, etc. that we can easily do with the Maven. So once our Maven project is ready, we can create different packages. Okay, so we will create different packages for storing the base class, base test class, pages classes, test case classes, right, utils and custom listeners. So once we create the packages, then we will create the different classes, okay, Java classes for base page, base test, page test, or next one is, let's say, our page classes. So next step, we will start implementing our base page class where we will going to initialize our driver. Okay, so once it is done, we will implement the base test.java class. So here we will use different TestNG annotations to start our execution. Then we will start implementing the page test classes first. Okay, so it's not mandatory, you can start implementing the pages first and then you can implement the test. So all these are the starting point of our automation framework. So now let's start the design and implementation. So let's create a new Maven project. So let's try to follow a proper naming convention and Java standards so that it will be more readable for anyone. So let's try to automate few pages from the Amazon application. So I will give group ID as com.amazon. Then artifact ID I can give Amazon dash. Okay, so proper name you can provide group ID and artifact ID, and packaging you can remain as it is jar. We don't need to give anything here. So let's click on finish. So our blank Maven project is ready. So let's try to create the packages first. So in the src main Java, I will create first base package. So again here we will follow the proper naming convention. So com.amazon.base. Okay, so is it a package? So we will keep in lowercase. So this is my pages package, com.amazon.pages. Then utils package, and next package we can create for the reports. So now let's create the packages under src test Java. First package for our base test. So under this we will create the base test.java class file. Then package for the test classes. So for storing our custom listeners, we will create the custom listeners package. And let's create one package for reading the test data from CSV or Excels. So we can give name it as test data readers package. So initially all these packages are sufficient for us. Whenever we require more packages, we will create those. So let's start adding our Java classes inside these packages. So inside the base package, I will add Java class for our base page class. So as per Java convention, your class name should start with the capital letter. So you can use the camel case over here. So base page. This is my base page class. Okay, we will implement it later. First let me add all the classes. So inside the pages, let's add class for some pages for the Amazon app. So let's add automation for this Amazon registration page, and another one we can add it for the sign in page first. So let's create classes for registration. So I will create registration pages class. So as it is a page object model, for every page we will create a separate Java class. So let me add it for sign in page now. Okay, these two pages we can add more later. So under base test package, let's create class for base test. And inside the test, we will create a test case class for every page. So we have created registration and sign in page. We will create a two test case classes. So for testing Amazon's registration page, we will create registration page test class. And for testing the sign in page, we will create sign in page test class. So until now we have created few important packages that we required and the Java classes. So before implementing the classes, let's set up the pom.xml now. So we will require different dependencies. Okay, so as per our group ID and artifact ID, our pom.xml file is ready. So first point, I will add Maven compiler source and target to 17. Okay, so as per your requirement you can change it. So currently it is showing 1.5, so we will use 17 version of the Java. Now inside the dependencies tag we will add the different dependencies that we require. So first let's add for the Selenium. So we will use the 4.21 version of the Selenium. Then let's add it for the TestNG. So these two dependencies are sufficient for now for implementing our base page, our page classes and our test case classes. So later as per our need we will add more dependencies in this pom.xml file. And one more thing, that is Surefire plugin we will require. So we have added the 3.3 version of the Surefire plugin. So whenever you update anything in the pom.xml file, you need to update your Maven project first. Okay, it is still showing 1.5. So always make a practice to update your Maven project. So go here and click on OK. So now you can see it is showing Java 17 now. So let's start implementing base page class first. So in this I will add first method to get the driver. This method is going to return the WebDriver reference. So return type is WebDriver. This is my method name. So I will be sending what browser I want to open, on which browser I want to run my test cases. So for that I will have this browser parameter here. So with the help of if else we can open the desired browser. If browser is Chrome, then we need to initialize driver to new Chrome driver. Import this from the Selenium package. So at the class level we will define the WebDriver reference, protected WebDriver driver. So this base page class is going to be a parent for all other page classes. So we can define the protected WebDriver driver, and this is my method name. So it should return the WebDriver reference over here. So our first step will be open the browser, and then we will perform our actions, and our last step will be to close the browser. So for that we can add a method to close the browser over here. Quit driver, this is my method name, driver.quit. So we will need constructor to add here so that we can add later. Okay, so as we are using inheritance concept in our framework, we will have to add the constructor so that we can initialize our variables properly. So I will add it later. And in the base page class we can add few actions or few methods which are common between all the web pages in the application. Okay, those are not defined for a specific web page, those will be common. So those common methods we can add here. Okay, for example let's add for logo. Okay, logo will be same for all the web pages. Okay, then checking the title, let's say verifying the title. So this section will be the same, it is not depending upon any web page. Other can be, let's say, current URL. So all these things are independent upon any web page. So whatever steps we require to check the current URL or check the title of the web page or check the logo will be the same for all the web pages. Okay, so you don't need to add those in separate web pages, just add it in the base page which is a parent, and indirectly those will be available for all the pages. Okay, so this will help you to increase the readability and decrease the code size. So for verifying the logo, we have created this verify logo method in the base page. So we will implement this method after some time. So for checking the title, we will have this get title method. So we will return the title of the web page from this method so that you can directly use the drive dot get title. Okay, so assertions we will do in our test classes. Similarly, you can add the method for get the current page URL. We will return drive dot get current URL. So now let's implement the base test.java class. Okay, so from this class we will start our execution. So we will add public void, let's say base setup. this is my method name. Okay, base setup method. So this method I am going to run before starting my test methods. Okay, so that's why I will use before method annotation over here. So before starting any execution for our TestNG method, this method will be executed. So from this method, first step is to open the browser and the URL of the application. So to open the browser, we will have to call the getDriver method from the base class. So how we can do that? You need to create the object for the BasePage class. So instead of creating this locally, I will create at the class level. So just take it out. Okay, take it out of the method. I'll make this, let's say, public BasePage, and we need to import this class first. So you can import it from com.amazon.base. So using the BasePage reference, let's call the getDriver method. So this is our method, and we will send which browser I want to open. So as of now, we are hard coding these values. Later we will create one config.properties file, and from there we will drive these values, okay, externally. So once browser is open, next step is to open the URL of the application. So driver.get, and here you need to mention the URL of the application. So this value also we are going to drive from the config.properties file. So for this driver, this getDriver is going to return our WebDriver reference. So I will add it here. Driver is equals to BasePage.getDriver. So let me add the reference for WebDriver here. Import it from the Selenium package. Okay, so open the browser, open the URL. Next step is to create the object for all other page classes. So we will create the object for all our web page classes in the base setup method itself. So I will create the reference for the page objects at the class level. Same, we will create the reference for our sign in page. So this is our object reference name. So you just need to create the object now. Registration page. This is my object for the registration page. Then sign in. Okay, so whatever page you will have in this framework, for all those pages we will create the object in the base setup method itself. So before starting any test case, we will open the browser, open the URL, and at the end we are going to close the browser. So I will use the @after method annotation, public void close browser method, and from this we will simply call the method that we defined in the base page. Okay, so this method we will call. So just go to here, we already have the base page class reference. So dot quit driver. So our two classes are ready. One is base page class we have implemented properly, and another one is BaseTest.java. So this base page class will be the parent for all our page classes, and this BaseTest class will be the parent for all our test classes. So let's start implementation for our test classes first. So this class should extends BaseTest. Okay, so you need to import this BaseTest from com.amazon.basetest. So in this registration page test, we will add all the test cases to check the registration page from the Amazon. Okay, so before starting any test case, it will open the browser from the base setup. It will open the URL as well. So if you go to amazon.in, this is Amazon's home page. So if you need to perform some action on the sign in page or registration page, you need to navigate to that page first, right? So that will be our first step in our test case. So let's say if I want to go to registration page, I will have to mouse over on this, and then I will click on start here. So this will open Amazon's registration page, right? So after opening the home page, I will have to navigate to this registration page first. So that is my first step for every test case. And if I want to go to sign in page, again same, I will go here and I will click on sign in. So this first step will be changed for page to page. For sign in, you will have different action. For registration page, you will have different action. So that step to open the specific page is dependent upon the page we are navigating. So for starting any test case from the registration page test, we will first go to the registration page first. So for that purpose, again I will use the before method annotation here. So this will be our setup page method. So here we will open the registration page from the home page of the Amazon. So we will have to create the home page first for the Amazon. So let's add the class, a separate class for the home page as well. Okay, so as we are navigating to registration page from the home page, that action we need to add in the home page first. So I have added this open registration page action as a method in my home page class. Okay, so again follow the proper naming convention. So method name will start with the lowercase letter. So this method I will call from my registration page test. So in the setup, we have to create the object first for the home page, so that we create in the base test, right? So whatever object reference you will require, you will create in the base test itself. So this will be accessible in the child class as well, right? This is extending the base test, so I can directly use home page dot, let's say, open registration page. So this is my first step in any of the test method that we define in the registration page test. So it should open the registration page first. So once we are here, we will start our test case by verifying this logo, okay, Amazon logo. So use the @test annotation, public void, and our test name can be is logo present test. Okay, this is my test, and how we are going to assert it, I will use the assert from the TestNG, assert dot assert true, and in the bracket we will call the method from the base page, right? So we have this verify logo method, right? So this we need to call. So that method is present in the base page, and every page is a child for this base page. So I can directly use the registration page reference over here. So registration page, this is my object reference for a registration page class, right? Dot. So if you press the dot, it should show the verify logo method from the parent class. So we have not extended our page classes from the base page class. So let me do that. Registration page extends base page. Okay, so for this registration page, which is a child for this base page, this method will be available now indirectly. So I will go back again, press dot. Now you can see verify logo is available. Okay, all other methods from the parent class are available now. So just call the verify logo. So this method is going to return true or false. So that I will going to assert here. If it is true, that time only this test will pass. If logo is not present, that method will return false, and this assertion will fail. So in case assertion fail, I can add some error over here. So this kind of error we can show logo is not present in case this assertion fail. So import this from the TestNG package. So this is our first test case, and this will start after user navigated to registration page. So next test we can add for the title. So to assert the web page title, we need to get the title of that web page first here. Okay, so I will use the assert dot assert equals, we can use. Okay, so what is the actual title of the web page? That I will get from this method get title. So again I will use the registration page reference dot get title. So this method get title will return the title of the web page in the string format, so that I can compare with the expected one here. So my expected title is Amazon registration, and in case if it fails, again we can add some error. So in case titles are not matching, we will print this error in the console. Page title does not match expected Amazon registration and actual whatever value we will get from the current session. So later we are going to add the proper logs as well in our framework. So for now we will just print it in the console. So another test I can do on this web page is I can click on verify mobile number. Okay, so I can check this one. So for that purpose we will have to add the first name and last name, mobile number, and then password, and then we have to click on verify mobile number. So all these web elements whatever available on this registration page we will create in the registration page.java file. So from the test we will only create a test case for checking the verify mobile number. So this is my another test, verify mobile number test. So for now if we add some dummy data over here and if we click on verify mobile number, it redirects us to solve this puzzle page. Okay, so we can use this assertion as well as assertion point once we click on the verify mobile number whether user is redirected to this page or not. So by using the registration page object reference we will call the method that is defined in the registration page.java file. So for now we have not implemented anything in the registration page, so I will just add my method name over here. Let's say verify mobile number functionality. Okay, so just mouse over on this and it will give you the suggestion to create the method in the registration page. So just click on that and it will automatically create the method for you. Okay, so that's why we are implementing the test class first. So later we will implement this method properly by using the different web elements and different actions we can perform. Then what else we can check here, we can click on the sign in. You can check this functionality as well. Once you click on the sign in from the registration page, user should be navigated on the sign in page. So again I can create a test case for that, public void, let's say sign in test or sign in link test. So again registration page dot, let's say I'm going to click on that sign in link. So I will create a method, click on sign in link. Okay, so this is the action we are going to perform in this test. We need to click on the sign in link first. So this is not available, I will directly click on create method. Okay, so method got created in the registration page. So to verify whether user navigated to sign in page or not, one way is to verify the title of the web page. It should be Amazon sign in. Other ways are we can assert any other element like this element whether it is present or not, or continue button is present or not, like that. So for now let's assert with the title of the web page. So assert dot assert equals, so to get the actual title of the page I will have to call the get title method from the base page. Okay, so this time we are checking the title of the sign in page, so I will use the sign in page object reference. So get title is not showing, so we need to extend again the sign in page from the base page. So here again dot get title. So this will return the actual title of the sign in page, and in case of failure we will show this error, sign in page not opened after clicking on the sign in link. So instead of get title I will make it more specific, get title of the page. So similarly from the registration page we can check, if we click on this create free business account, then this page should open, Amazon business. So let's add the test case for that similar to the sign in link test. So this is our create business account test. So for that purpose using the registration page reference we will perform the action. So this is the method for performing the action, click on create business account link. So that should be available in the registration page. So just mouse over on that and it will create method for you. Okay, so we will implement all this method after some time. So as a assertion point whether user navigated to the Amazon business page or not, you can assert the title of the web page again. Okay, so for that purpose you will have to create the page for the Amazon business page, okay, in this, and then using the object reference we can call the get title of the page method again. So let me do that. So I created the business page class, okay, which extend the base page, and in the base test I have added the object reference for the business page. Okay, so using this object reference in the registration page test we will do the assertion. So this is the method we are again going to call to get the current page title. We will compare it with the Amazon business which is expected one, and in case of error, okay, you will get this message in the console, Amazon business page not opened after clicking on the create business account link. So for now these are sufficient for our framework design practice. So similarly we are going to add the test cases for the sign in page as well. So until now we are ready with our base page class, our base test class and registration page test class. So in the next session we will implement the sign in page test and all our page classes. We have to add the constructor as well in each of the page class or base class, and we will add a config.properties file from which we can read the browser value, URL value or any other user ID password values. We will also create a generic class for waiting mechanism where we will use the different conditions from the explicit wait in the Selenium. So to have a better practice or hands-on experience, you can start creating this framework on your local system. You can take any of the real-time application, create the base class, create the page class and create the test classes. So we slowly move from basic things to advanced things in this automation framework. So that's all for this session guys. I will see you in the next video soon. Thank you.